Messaging that works versus messaging that puts her off. Hi guys, my name is Christine Loveridge and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. And today I'm talking about messaging and texting that works versus messaging and texting that puts her off. So the first thing that I want to talk about is do not try to get to know her through online messaging and texting. Now, I've also done this kind of thing in the past. Basically, it's this notion of, oh, I need to get to know her first before I ask her out. And this approach rarely works. If you want a girl to like you and you want to start dating a certain girl, it's best to ask her out as quickly as you possibly can and get that romantic connection established. Because if you're just talking over Messenger or you're only texting, you are not yet in a romantic relationship. You are not yet in a romantic connection. You are just friends. So if you want to start establishing that romantic connection, which I'm sure you do, it's best to start asking her out. It's best to start facilitating you two getting together and having a date. Now, if you are, of course, from different countries, or they're on the other side of the country, or they live very, very far away, then you might be thinking, well, they're far away. This is the only way I can talk to them. But that's not the case. You can still have an online date, as in like over FaceTime or over WhatsApp, video, or over Skype. You need to start having dates where you can, see each other kind of face to face and have a conversation. But you need to also let her know that you are interested in her in that way. Now, I don't mean that you confess your feelings and tell her that you're in love with her, obviously not that. But basically, you want to know that you are interested in being more than friends with her and you would like to have a date with her, whether that is actually in person or over Skype or FaceTime. So the best way to do this is to just say to her, hey, I think you're really cute. When are you available to meet up for a date? That's all you need to do. That's all you need to say. And basically what she will do is she'll either say no thank you, or she'll come up with an excuse, which is basically another way of saying no thank you. Or she'll say, yes, I would love to. And she'll give you the days and times when she's available to do so. And basically what that does as well is it stops any of this from prolonging. So let's say you are interested in a girl that doesn't like you and you tell her that you like her and you'd like to have a date with her and she says no. You then know the answer and you know that you no longer should waste any more time or any more emotions on that particular woman. And if she says yes, that's even better because you are prolonging the, oh, does she or doesn't she kind of questions you might be asking yourself. So it's better to just rip the band-aid off and get on with it and just ask her out and see when she's available. So the next point that I want to make is miscommunication. This is why messaging can be quite dangerous because when you're messaging, she might message a different way than you do. Perhaps she uses loads of emojis or something and she finds that you not using emojis is quite cold and distant, which is why it's best to, if you want to communicate with someone, you do it in person or over a Skype date or a FaceTime date, because if there is miscommunication and she takes something the wrong way, it could end up ruining your chances, which is why you probably should be avoiding messaging and texting like the plague, because you don't know how she is interpreting what you are saying. There's no crystal ball way of knowing how she's taking things. So it's better to limit that as much as possible. So if you're going to use texting and messaging, just use it as a way to, arrange actually meeting up and physically getting together. I mean, that's how I use it with my family members most of the time, Obviously with lockdown happening, it's been a little bit different, but for most of the time, whenever I use Messenger and texting with my family members, I use it to facilitate meeting up with them. Like, oh, what are you doing this weekend? They're like, oh, well, I'm busy on Sunday, but I'm free Saturday. And I'm like, oh, cool, do you want to meet up on Saturday at 1? That's how I use Messenger most of the time. And that's how you must be using it as well, especially with the girls that you like. Now, of course, this is different with like friends and perhaps, a relationship you've been in for a long time, because, she might just send you, if you've been in a relationship with her for a long time, it's like, oh, can you go and pick up some eggs? She might send you a message like that. But if it's a girl you're just dating and you're not in a relationship with, you should be avoiding over messaging and trying to get to know each other. Because again, they could misinterpret what you are saying. I highly recommend that you watch this video on how to make her think of you constantly, as I go into even more detail on the right way to text a girl on how to, and message her between dates and things like that. So the best way that you can get to know someone is in person. And the reason why that is because it's less likely that there's going to be miscommunication. You'll be able to read her body language, so you'll be able to tell if something you've said has put her off you, or if something you are saying is working. You'll be able to tell if she's actually interested in the date or whether she's bored. It's so much easier to tell how someone is reacting to what you're saying and how they're reacting to you in person. So I'm just going to give you a story, and this is a story that I use relatively often, and that is how I met my fiance. So I met my fiance on Tinder. And on the first night that we matched together, I got her contact through Facebook and I arranged to meet up with her. We arranged a date all on that first night that we matched. And we probably sent between each other probably about 15 messages. We sent a few obviously on the app Tinder, and then I asked for her Facebook, which she gave me, and then we started having a conversation on Facebook, but it was only a small one. Again, this was around 15 messages that we had sent each other. On Facebook, I asked her if she would like to meet up and go on a date, which I made about a week in advance. This all happened in the space of an evening, so the whole having a little conversation on Tinder just to get to know each other a tiny bit, have a little bit of rapport thrown back and forth, getting her Facebook information, having a message, sending a few messages to each other on Facebook, and then arranging a date. This all happened in the same night. Okay, this all happened within the space of about 2 hours. Now, we wasn't messaging each other for 2 hours because again, it was only roughly around 15 messages in total. But I got things going. I made my interest clear and we arranged a date. And in between that date, I didn't message her. I think we matched on a weekend and then we met up the following weekend. And in between that time, I just didn't message her. And after we'd been on a date, I waited roughly around 5 days before asking her out again. And a few months later into our relationship, we had a discussion about this. We talked about it. And I told her the reasons why I waited 5 days. And I said, look, I just wanted you to think about the date, think about me, how you thought it went. And, I wanted to give you time to basically just think about it before I asked you out again. And she said, oh, I'm happy you did that. She was glad that I did that. She was glad that I waited 5 days before asking her out again and not talking to her immediately after the date. If you are getting to know each other over Messenger and online, basically you are just ruining the mystery, and it's not what she wants anyways. She wants to think about you. She wants time to be away from you and time to think about how things are going and to just think about the date. If you've been on a date with her, she wants that time to wonder and think about it and see how she feels. So the overall message of this video is to not message as frequently, to not try to get to know each other over Messenger. Try to facilitate getting to know each other in person or on things like Skype dates, and in between those dates, limit your contact. Now obviously if she reaches out to you first in between that time, that's great. You don't want to be cold to her or mean to her in any way. You want to obviously be glad that she's messaged you, and obviously, when she reaches out to you, just arrange getting together again, just make another date. You can make the date happen sooner. But the point is that you are not getting to know each other over Messenger. If you would like to get in touch with me and you would like coaching with me, then please go to www.christineloveridge.com/shop. Alternatively, you can send me an email using the email address provided in this video's description box. If you have some tips as well, then please leave them in the comments below so we can help each other out. Please like, please subscribe, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Bye guys.